Hi guys, it's Julie in sunny Tampa, Florida. I am going to be talking to you today about the experiment that I did using grow bags in my garden. I've never used grow bags before, but I've heard a lot about them and I wanted to see what they were all about, see if they could help me. I know if you're like me, you've had garden issues in the past with pests or disease, and you know, once you tackle all that stuff, how do you just get your garden to grow better, get your fruit to produce more, your vegetables to produce more? And I think maybe I found the answer. Anyway, I'm going to show you what I did here, so let's get started. As you can see, I'm still working on my trellis structure. This is actually going to be a shade and rain guard because I have issues with my tomatoes splitting when we get a heavy rain, even though I water frequently. Whenever I get a heavy rain, it seems like my tomatoes always split, and that's my last problem to resolve now that I've handled the diseases and the pests for the most part. So these first two tomatoes right here are Everglades tomatoes, and the one on the right here was planted in the ground. I dug the soil probably about 3 feet deep, maybe 3.5. Dug all the soil out, put it in a wheelbarrow, mixed it with probably a third black cow and a few handfuls of bone meal, and that's about it. Just native soil from my garden and black cow and bone meal. And I used that soil to put back in this hole with this Everglades, and I also used that soil to use in this grow bag. Now, as you can see, the grow bag tomato is way bigger. It's a healthier shade of green, lots more vines on it. It sprawled all over the place. I originally had it right next to the other tomato because I thought it would look neater. But I had to move it so that it had more room and so that the other tomato had more room for comparison's sake. And it's just gone crazy in the grow bag. And if you're wondering if I fertilized any differently, I did not. I'm relying completely on the black cow and the bone meal in the soil. Now you can add, I guess, a liquid fertilizer, fish emulsion or something like that to the water in the grow bag, and you can add it to the ground, but I chose not to fertilize either of these tomatoes just for the sake of this experiment. I wanted to have a level playing field. I just wanted to know the difference between a grow bag and in-ground. And I guess the reason that this one is so much larger is because of something called air pruning, which I'll see if I can show you here. Yeah, those are my knees that are cracking. I'm not sure how clear this is coming out, but if you can, stupid camera phone. Anyway, once the roots reach the sides of this air bag and hit the air, they self-prune. And once they self-prune, they grow back up into the bag and in more directions. Normally roots tend to grow down and out, and that's why you see a lot of circling. And if you use a pot, you'll notice at the bottom of the pot that there's a large area of circling roots. These don't do that. In grow bags, they don't do that. The purpose of the basin at the bottom is so that I can water, and I unfortunately underestimated the amount of water that I would need, so my basin is a little small. And I just watered it 3 hours ago. It was above the rocks, and now it's all the way down below it. This thing just sucks up the water because it's so large, it's so big. I would recommend, if you guys try to use a grow bag, that you get a little bit larger basin. People are using kiddie pools. Some people are making their own out of like lumber and pond liner. A lot of people get really fancy and put floats on it, float valve, so that the system will automatically top off the water as needed. I have to basically come out here and water this huge tomato 3 times a day. And it's only going to get worse as the season goes on. It's going to get hotter. The tomato's going to get bigger. It's going to use a lot more water. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the results. As far as the grow bags go, you can get them from basically anywhere. Amazon. I've heard people use Walmart grow bags, but they don't, or Walmart bags as grow bags, but they don't last very long. There's a really great place called Bob's Berries that creates their own grow bags, and that they're warranted for up to 10 years and completely reusable. I would highly recommend using them. This particular bag, which was just for the sake of the experiment, was a 5-gallon bag that I bought off of Amazon, and it might actually be a little small. Like I said, I underestimated how much difference there would be between a grow bag and planting in the ground. I have a couple of other tomatoes here that I planted in grow bags, and they're also a darker shade of green compared to some of the other ones that I put in the ground. The ones that I put in the ground here, they're about the same size as the one in the grow bag. I don't know if that's due to the variety of the tomato. This variety is a completely different kind from that variety. So there's no way for me to use these in the experiment or to gauge the differences. These Everglades, these are both Everglades. They were both seeds that I planted myself, so I know they're both the same age. They went into the ground at the same time. You know, I controlled everything. With these, I was just goofing around. I didn't control anything, so I can't really use those, but definitely it's a darker shade of green than the ones in the ground. Anyway, that's it. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.